Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Tastefully Balanced. I'm Miriam, and as you can already see, I am not in the kitchen today again. So I thought it would be interesting to take you along to the grocery store and show you things to avoid buying. So last week I showed you things that I usually buy, so I thought this would be a unique twist to that idea. So if you like these types of videos where I kind of take you along, then please subscribe and keep watching. Alright, so I wanted to go to a grocery store that's pretty common. This is a pretty basic common store that you can find. It's a chain. So I just wanted to kind of show you what not to get at a pretty basic grocery store. First things first, you always kind of want to stick to the outside of the store. So things like produce is really good. And then on the other side are less processed foods basically are on the outside. Alright, the first thing I'm noticing is salad dressing. So this actually might come as a surprise, but store-bought salad dressings actually contain a lot of hidden ingredients, hidden sugars. I'll show you guys just one example, but yeah, it's best to just kind of make it at home and just know what ingredients are getting put into the salad dressings versus buying them. So let me just pick a common brand and show you guys. Alright, so here is a pretty common brand, Kraft, and this is one that I make at home a lot, so balsamic vinaigrette. So I didn't want to even pick one of these ranches, or because I already know those are very, very high in fat. But this one, for example, you can see that one serving of this has 5 grams of sugar. So 5 grams is a little bit over, I think, a couple teaspoons. So I know when I make my balsamic vinaigrette, that definitely does not have that much sugar in it. So yeah, this is just one example why just making it yourself is a little bit better than buying it at the store. So this is a no for me. Alright, another thing I'm noticing are yogurts. So flavored yogurts. This is something that I used to buy all the time until I really got familiar with the ingredients. And then I noticed how much added sugar is in these yogurts. So now what I do is I just buy my plain non-fat yogurt and I mix my own fruits to it. And then if it's not sweet enough, I just add agave or honey, and that way you don't have to add all this extra sugar. So definitely a no for me as well, flavored yogurts. Alright, so cereal is another big no-no from the grocery store, especially when you have things like this that are just full of sugar. So any of these cereals, you have to check the ingredients and you have to check the sugar content, because most of these, even if they're labeled as being healthier, are really not that good for you. So for example, I'll go and pick out Special K because that markets itself as being, a healthier cereal. So if I look at this, 10 grams of sugar per serving. So that is crazy. I mean, yeah, so you just have to be careful with cereals. They just have a lot of sugar, and it's so much better if you just buy oatmeal, plain oatmeal, or something like this. But yep, so cereal is another big no-no. Alright, so this is another area that you should really avoid, these frozen single meals. These have so much sodium in them to keep them, last longer on the shelf. So yeah, definitely try to cook your own meals. And I know it gets hard, but that's kind of what I want to show, is that it doesn't have to be hard to just cook for yourself. It can be easy, quick, and healthy. And so yeah, definitely a big no is to stay away from these single meals that you just microwave. Just to put it into perspective, I just grabbed one of these chicken with peanut sauce lean cuisine meals, and look at this. It has 11 grams of sugar, so 4 grams of sugar is equal to about 1 teaspoon, and then it has 600 milligrams of sodium. So definitely not the best macros, and something that you should really try and avoid. Another aisle to avoid is the sports drink and bottled juices. These sports drinks and bottled juices are nothing really but sugar and some artificial flavoring for the most part. They really don't have a lot of the actual fruit in them, which makes it completely unhealthy and not very good for you. So avoid this as much as you can. I mean, I don't even know if I really need to go down this aisle, but chips, cookies, you already know the drill. They're not the best for you. I know you get cravings and sometimes you just need to have a couple of chips, but just try to limit your intake of these types of processed foods and try to find other healthier alternatives. So maybe I'll show you guys like this, versus that type of video where I'll take one of these and just sub it with something a little bit healthier. So yep, try to avoid this as much as you can. Alright, so this isn't really food related, but things that are not food related, you really should avoid buying from the grocery store because they end up being so much more expensive than at a department store or like a Walgreens, Rite Aid, that type of place. So yeah, try not to buy any of these other things that are not food from the grocery store and just save your money. Do I really have to tell you guys? Stay away. Nope, no candy. Alright, I've already told you that I love the bulk section at grocery stores, but they can be dangerous just because you have things like this and this dried mango slices that are covered in sugar. So you just have to be careful of what you do find because sometimes, they're good. Sometimes you can find just oatmeal or rice or beans, but other times you can get some processed stuff in bulk, so that can be pretty bad. So just be careful with this section. Next time I'll have to show you what actually to get at the grocery store instead of telling you everything to avoid. So stay tuned for that episode. Alright, there you guys go. Just some of the items that I try to avoid at the grocery store. Now, this doesn't mean that I never get any of these items. It's just good to be aware that these are not the healthiest choices. So if you like these types of videos, please comment, like, share, and subscribe. And as always, live life tastefully balanced.